Good morning. Friday here, about 5:30, and we are chugging through the morning. I did my workout, took my supplements, watched some YouTube, got into my Facebook and Instagram, and have been answering messages. I'm not really big on Facebook, I've said it before, but I run my page just because there's a lot of people on that platform that ask for advice and groups, so I like to stay active there so that people feel supported and know that it does get easier. The first 3 months of keto are not easy, especially when you're going through the transition from glycogenesis into ketogenesis. So stick with it. It's worth it, but sometimes it's going to feel like torture. Please don't listen to the people that are telling you to intermittent fast right off the bat. It's not the easiest process to do, as well as some people feel absolutely tortured by not being able to eat because they're so used to the different insulin spikes. So once your body gets fat adapted and used to work, which means working off of fat, it'll be easier for you. But until then, don't worry about the rest. Just try to focus on cutting down the sugars, wheat, starch, glutens, and other fast carbs that your body is so used to eating and consuming and working off of that's enough for now. Sugar is a hard one. It's almost like a drug for people, and you find that a lot of times people get withdrawal symptoms, and the keto flu, which people talk about, is one of those killers that some people just can't stand, and they'll find any reason to cheat off of keto right off the bat because they just are feeling like crap. And I understand, but make sure that you're getting your electrolytes and staying hydrated, as that'll make it a lot easier for you. Okay, so going through my messages this morning, I noticed a lot of people asking me about Russell Stover's and maltitol in particular. Russell Stover's is a company that makes what's called sugar-free chocolate. However, maltitol is not sugar-free and cannot be subtracted from the carb count in your macronutrients as if it were fiber. It just doesn't work that way. Your body has a metabolic response to it. So you're going to need to account for that. Most of the pieces are like 2 pieces per serving, 7.5 net carbs for those. That's a little high for people that are trying to stay under 20 net carbs a day. So decide what's worth it for you and go from there. That being said, it's a chance here or there that you might get diarrhea from maltitol due to the bloating, inflammation, and digestional distress that it causes. So just be careful there. Some people get it, some people don't. Don't think because you don't get it that you will not have the insulin spikes. As I said, it's 35 on the glycemic index, which cane sugar is 65. So pretty close, and it will impact you. If you're unsure, go to Keto Mojo, order one of those, get your blood glucose tested here and there just to see what your triggers are. It'll help you be able to manipulate what you eat. For me, again, I got messages about 1 meal a day. I will not tell anybody to fast or do intermittent fasting that has not been fat adapted. Fat adapted means that your body works off of fat instead of glycogen for your energy throughout the day. It's harder to get to that point than some people would assume. They just think they're going to stop eating carbs and their body's going to be fine and it's just going to be an easy transition. Well, a lot of the time you've been so what can I say? Your body's so used to working off of glycogen and eating carbs, and I'm not saying carbs from veggies. I'm saying like wheat, starches, breads, pastas, rices, things of that nature. Your body's so used to that from the standard American diet that it's hard. It almost goes through drug withdrawals trying to break through that and get onto a ketogenic breakdown of fats. So if you're experiencing that, chill out. Don't be too hard on yourself. Drink more water, make a cup of tea, and it's almost like detox from drugs, I'm telling you, but you'll get through it. It's not pleasant. And I can tell you that it's not one of those, it's not one of those things that you're going to enjoy. And a lot of people want to quit and give up right when they go through the flu, but it's worth sticking it out. That being said, you got to find what works for you. A lot of people keto different. I am a pretty strict eater, and I 1 meal a day. 1 meal a day for me can either be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Depends on the day. A lot of the times I'm really hungry right after I eat. So I try to get my meal together. Usually it'll be like a salad with a meat, and I use my fats in my salad dressings or to cook with. I'm not one of those people that eats fat bombs and make sure my fat macros are up higher. My body, when I'm trying to lean out, needs to burn my fat. So I will trigger it with fat. Fat will be the first thing your body will go to break it down because it's the easiest out of the macronutrients you have. You're going to have fat and protein and veggie carbs if you do a clean keto. However, I don't really focus on what I eat for carbs with veggies because veggies didn't make me fat in the first place. So it's not something I worry about. Some people count everything on that. That's you. That works for you. Cool. But I will focus on having lots of veggies and nutrients and making sure I get my nutrition right so that I, can be completely balanced there and not have a deficiency. I will work on having anything in my house that I need, possibly for, a sugar craving or just people that visit. My uncle came up when I had Halloween and I had gluten, sugar-free desserts and stuff, which I think he really enjoyed, seeing as though he cleaned out my case, which is pretty fun. But things like that, it just sets you up for success. He's a diabetic, so being able to supply him with things he can eat without guilt is a great feeling. I do have all of those sugary treats in my freezer because I don't go through them very often and I don't give in to those temptations very easily. I prefer to have my one meal a day, not have a cheat, and just keep going about it. I find that my success level is better. Now I'm going to bring up the scale. If you are working out, your scale is your worst enemy. And I only say that because a lot of people, when I start working out with them and training them, they're losing weight at first because your body is just burning fat. It's not building muscle. So when you get onto a ketogenic lifestyle, your body is burning that fat and it's coming right off. Then you start working out and your body is building muscles and it's feeding those muscles. So your proteins go there. The breakdown of fat is still coming off and your muscles are getting more dense and your body's your skin's tightening up. There's so many positives about working out that I'm very big on. Especially girls that want to lift things or build things. I think squats and sit-ups and push-ups and bench presses are really important. So if you guys want to work out, you guys can totally message me and I'll help you out, help you get started. It's fun for me to talk about fitness and, it's a passion of mine. However, again, go back to the scale. You will notice that your scale will either stay stagnant or it could go up because you are going to build muscle, which muscle weighs more than fat. Fat is more of this loose, lean, jiggly crap that's in you have fat cells. You have a certain amount of fat cells, and over the years when you're eating like crap, your body's storing that fat for backup on should it need energy. So the more carbs that you're consuming, it just keeps kind of storing them for excess backup because your body is like this big machine that wants to have extras just in case you go into starvation mode. This is what it'll work off of. All right. So you have these big fat cells, and then you have muscles being built and it's sucking down those fat cells. Those fat cells are getting smaller. Your muscles are getting bigger. Muscles are more dense, take up less space. At my best weight, I was like 155, 165, and that's where I like to stay at. People always are like, oh my God, I want to be 130, 120. Not me. I have no interest in being this tiny little twig. And hey, I'm not knocking if you are small. I'm not knocking it at all if your lean figure is what you're going for. For me, that's not what I want to be. I want to be Rambo and camo. Like, I really like to be strong. I like to be able to lift things. I like the feel of lifting muscles and seeing my weights get heavier. And my body doesn't bulk up. A girl lifting weights does not bulk up without adding testosterone or some sort of hormone that is going to really make her muscles increase. Our bodies are not built for that. We can only process 35 grams of protein in a sitting, where a guy can process 50. Everything else from there is an abundance. Okay, so I used to take Isopure protein shakes and I would only do one scoop because they were so heavy on the freaking protein. I couldn't process all that. Why waste it? Literally, all I was doing was not using it. Other people will use it, especially males, because their body is meant to bulk up and be big and strong and hunter-gatherer. Our bodies are meant to really balloon out as a woman, balloon out in the center with our thighs, hips, butt, and belly. Why? Because we're meant to have babies. That's just science for you, and that's kind of what you have to go off of when you're looking at a fitness lifestyle and burning that fat. So for me, I really focus on my core workouts. If you don't have an exercise ball, that's a major thing to get because you can do so much with it. I have another bench where you can put your shoulders on it and do different workouts to build your bum, which is, again, your core, your butt, your hips, your thighs. I try to focus on those areas because everything else will come pretty easy for you. I can build my arms up really simple. So anytime I kind of have downtime, I'll go back down to my gym, turn on one of my Netflix things. Right now I'm really into Wentworth, and I'll pump because it's easier than just sitting on the couch. You're getting those endorphins going, you're feeling good about yourself, and you're putting your body through some energy. You're building some more. You're giving it another reason to burn, another reason it needs energy. So you'll find that if you don't just sit down on your couch at the end of the day, you're doing yourself a justice. So I tell you, anytime you have downtime or if you're awake early, try and do some stretches, do some yoga, do something to get yourself moving. What else did I see? People were asking about meal plans and how I keep my family together with their food. We're busy. We do not meal prep. I meal plan, which is a little bit different. I will make a menu at the beginning of the week on Sundays when I grocery shop, and it'll tell me everything that I'm going to eat for the week so that I can kind of have an idea of what I'm going to take out of the fridge, where we're going to go with the food, how I'm going to not waste it, and, be able to reuse it. So a lot of the times I'll make something and then I'll transform it into something else for another meal, or bring it over to something else to some other day, freeze it, however it needs to be, so that my fridge is not overstocked. On Sundays and Mondays, it's pretty rough because we have so much veggies that we go through. It's insane, but our veggie budget is huge. We all snack on them. We all eat lots of salads. We eat them with every meal, so it's a big one. I tend to try to mix it up with Pinterest. People always ask you like, oh my God, I'm stuck. I eat the same things. On keto, I see a lot of people eat just meats with like Rayo sauce and stuff, and I don't understand that. Veggie it up. I know people will fight me and say that they love carnivore and it's really great for them. I don't agree. So I will not push that. I think that veggies are very important, especially for your nutritional balance. If you want to be carnivore, this is cool, but I am not the girl for you. I will always say that salads and mixing up your veggies and having a good panel there is a great idea. I will never promote a lot of carbs just because I can see what it's done for me and my family, so not my thing. However, I will push for my kids to have fruits, veggies, and snacks of a better kind. We watched last night some carb-loaded videos because I wanted them to really learn some of the new science that's come out. So I don't hold them back from veggies. People were asking me in one of my messages what I restrict them on. I try not to have too much of the carbs and frozen foods for them because I feel like that just gets them into a routine of depending on those. So you'll see behind me there's bananas, onions, squash, limes, and that's kind of a standard here. My husband takes a banana every day to work with him because that's one of those easy breakfasts or lunch things. My kids love bananas. I'm not going to hold them back. I don't think that makes them fat or anything like that. So especially with the way that they digest down, they are a little bit of a sugar, but with kids and their metabolisms being so fast and their energies being so high, I think it's a good thing. We do have apples, we do have oranges, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, things like that. I have no problem with them snacking on. So I guess in some ways they're a little bit more paleo than keto at times. But we do have the Keto Zero bread. It's a higher fiber bread, and if they want to have a sandwich or something like that, that's totally fine, works for me. I would like to keep them away from having a lot of the processed starches and processed starches and wheats, as I just don't think those are good for gut health. So as they're younger, I'm trying to get them into that sort of mind frame so that they're more making conscious decisions about their consumptions. That way they don't struggle as adults. I think a lot of the times our parents didn't teach us exactly what you need for fitness, so I don't want to make that mistake with my children. Last night we had asparagus and burgers, again on low carb bread for them, and it was no big deal. I make my own burger meat. When I grab ground beef, I can season it myself, control it easily. And then I have a salad dressing that I typically make once a week, and I'll stick that on different things because it has chia, flax, and hemp seeds with seasonings and an olive oil base, so that's pretty yummy. I made my own blue cheese for my husband's wedge salad last week, and that was pretty delish. That's a great fat, great mix, and I'm actually going to use it with chicken, so that'll be pretty cool. Tonight we're going to have a stuffed meatloaf, and that'll have ground beef and sausage, and usually I'll put that over spinach, uncooked spinach. Great roughage and great balance between foods. Today is a Friday forage, so I will be working for a little bit. I have to go to my favorite gun store and pick up hunting ammo for my son because the owner is going to put it aside for me. Seriously, if you guys have not been to Renaissance Firearms in Barrington, New Hampshire, and you guys are local, that is the best place for guns. I have bought a ton of them there. We're pretty big into shooting and firearms, and we support my son being a hunter and fisherman big time as it gets the kids out of the house and using their brains to live off the land a little bit and respect the earth around them. My son's absolutely impressive beyond words for me. Watching his little mind grow and the challenges that he undertakes and the things he's learned is really, it makes me proud of him. And I'm in awe of all the things he can and does do. Ugh, I love that little boy. Anyways, my daughter is Little Miss Adventurous outdoors, making videos. So they're completely different, but it gets them out of the house and total goods. Like I said, I'm going to go to Renaissance today, pick up some more ammo. I have some errands that I want to do. I want to hit up the Dover Natural Marketplace, as well as I have to go to Trader Joe's because we're almost out of that cauliflower rice that I love so much, and that's the only one that I will eat. I have one bag of it left, and it's the frozen one, and I'll try to video when I'm down there and then put something together for you guys. I'm not really big into editing. I more shoot from the hip because I feel like that's real. So as you can tell, I just say whatever is going on in my head and bring it out here for you guys. I feel like we're sitting and having coffee in the morning before I head to work. So I'll try to shoot some of the stuff that I do on my Fridays. I know I've been slacking. Some people have actually messaged me and said, hey, where are your hauls? I do have some grocery hauls going on this weekend. I will need to restock some things, not meat, because I definitely did that at Diamond Bee Farm in New Durham, New Hampshire last weekend, and that was delish. So we get most of our meat from farms. I get a lot of my veggies from the red, what is it called? Tender Crop Red Farm over in Dover, New Hampshire. I try to stay away from like the Shaws and Aldi's, but I will go there for some of the options because my family can't get everything from farms, unfortunately. If we could, we would support the little people more, especially during these hard times with the country divided so much. We really want to support our little people and our mom and pop shops. So that being said, it's Friday, it's 5:45. I'm going to jump off of here and get my stuff together because I am out the door for 7 a.m. off to my job to take care of what I need to get done, and then running around like crazy to get everything together for the weekend so we can kind of enjoy Saturday, and then Sunday will be my grocery shop day as normal, any meal prep and stuff that needs to be done, although I don't really need too much this week because last week was pretty big and it's been kind of a simple week. We haven't used everything that we got. We do a lot of dips and stuff just for snacks for my kids and stuff, so we still have a lot of that, like cheese, queso, spinach artichoke dip, chicken, salad. I have a taco dip in there, all different things like that so that they could dip pork rinds or veggies, and my daughter's really big into cucumbers, different things like that, just so that they can have healthy snacks and options in the house. So probably you'll see me restock on veggies and some drinks and cheeses and meats, I think is all I'm going to really need. But again, I'll write out my list and maybe I'll share that with you guys if you're interested, as well as my menu and my whole thought process as I go through that. I usually use Pinterest and find different things that I'm interested in eating or changing it up for. And then I'll make my menu, turn it keto, and go from there because it helps me keep my grocery bill down without making myself go completely over as I go, oh, that would be good. Because I have a tendency to do that with groceries. I really love food and I love to cook, so abundance is easy to do. All right, guys, have a great Friday, and we will talk soon. Hope you guys get your workouts in and are eating healthy. It'll do your body good.